Alright, this is Radio Nagarik 96.5, The Lounge it is, and here at The Lounge I've got this special guest, the very special guest who I've tried a month long to get his time, and rightly so. Today is the special day because I have him here. So, उहाँको बारे कुरा गर्दा चाहिँ he loves popping coffee cans rather than champagnes. He is the director of Jyoti Group and the chairman of Shaka Trading Company. That's right, people. All you wanted, yes, all about him. This is Saurabh Jyoti here. Welcome, sir.
Hi, morning, Jay.
Good morning, sir. So, तपाईलाई चाहिँ छ नि यति धेरै इन्टरभ्युज दिनुहुन्छ अनि आज रेडियो नागरिकमा आउनु भएको छ. I welcome you first of all. How does it feel that तपाईले चाहिँ यति धेरै इन्टरभ्यु दिनु भएको छ? It's been like 20 years you've been working. यति धेरै इन्टरभ्युज दिनु भएको छ. How does it feel every now and then जब नयाँ मान्छेहरूले तपाईलाई इन्टरभ्यु लिनुहुन्छ? How does it feel like?
Frankly speaking, it's always nice to speak to the media.
हजुर.
But sometimes it gets monotonous because people ask the same questions. But I'm sure today is going to be very interesting.
I'm sure that I've worked on it much to get something new for the people as well. And by the way, people, I mean, Mr. Saurabh Jyoti is not just about bikes. He's about a lot of things. I'll discuss a lot of things, and also that Mr. Saurabh Jyotiलाई चाहिँ मैले भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ एउटा one word मा introduce गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ he is work in progress. That is तपाईले चाहिँ आफैले नै भन्नुभएको छ you're in work in progress भनेर. So much of experience and yet work in progress भन्दाखेरि is this the modesty that's working or what?
No, it's actually the truth.
Because
if you have a look, I've just been working for now 18 years. 18 years is a long time.
So 1999 was the year that you joined, right?
Yes. So 1999 देखि मैले चाहिँ काम सुरु गरेँ नेपालमा फर्केर पढाइसकेपछि. So it's been 18 years.
So 1999 मा चाहिँ तपाईले जब काम थाल्नु हो त्यति बेलाको नेपाली परिप्रेक्ष्य चाहिँ कस्तो थियो बिजनेसलाई लिएर?
अब त्यो पालि हेर्नुभयो भने साँच्चै भन्नुभयो भने एकदमै इट वाज अ टोटली डिफरेन्ट नेपाल. हैन एउटा त पढाइबाट फर्किसकेपछि लाइक एभ्रीवन माइट थिंक being the owner's son, you have a nice big office, you're the boss in the office. त्यस्तो केही थिएन. I started off with a small office which was like a go-down, side of a
marketing
go-down. Marketing department, but I started off Himalayan, which is one of our oldest companies. We manufacture steel. So त्यहाँबाट मैले सुरु गरेको हो. र त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ बिस्तारै I started learning the ropes of business, marketing देखि लिएर sales, त्यो पछि आएर production. Then we had a factory. We revamped the whole factory. We increased the capacity. We installed new machines. So I knew Himalayan. That was a new era for us because the whole factory was modernized, capacity was modernized. So that was exciting time. But at the same time, it was very challenging at that time. किनभने त्यो अर्कै नेपाल थियो. त्यो बेला चाहिँ हामी द्वन्द्वकालमा थियौँ. र द्वन्द्वकालमा हुँदा चाहिँ धेरै प्रोजेक्ट्सहरू गर्न इच्छा थियो तर परिस्थितिले गरेर राजनीतिक अस्थिरता त्यति मात्रै हैन त्यो चाहिँ द्वन्द्वकालकै बेला भएको सिक्युरिटी इश्यूज भएको हुनाले बन्दहरू हुन्थ्यो महिनौ त्यो भएको हुनाले धेरै प्रोजेक्ट्स इम्प्लिमेन्ट पनि गर्न पाएन सो नट एज लकी एज द जेनेरेसन नाउ because now things are happening
way more stable,
very much
modernized,
very much
so the 1999 बाट तपाईले आज 2019 हेर्दाखेरि तपाईले के did you predict something like 2009 मै गएर म सायद एउटा लेभलसम्म चाहिँ म अहिले मेरो बिजनेस लिएर आउन सक्छु अथवा भनौं म कहीं पुग्छु that personal ambition of yours त्यो सोच्नु भएको अनुसारले have you realized that ambition?
Yes.
यो certain time period मा यति गर्छु यो गर्छु भनेर
So त्यो एउटा चाहिँ जहिले पनि छ तर मलाई जहिले पनि लाग्छ कि I'm running 10 years behind. Because things are moving a little slow. So whatever I do, I always wish that I had done it 10 years ahead.
नेपालमा भएर अलिकति स्लो हुनु थालेको हो कि do you think that had you been outside running this magnum scale of business outside abroad country मा would it happen a little bit faster जस्तो लाग्छ कहिलेकाहीँ personally?
I think मलाई लाग्छ कि जति सक्सेस हामीले यहाँ नेपालमा हामीले चाहिँ जुनसुकै क्षेत्रमा चाहिँ हामीले इन्भेस्ट गरेर जुन सम्भावना यहाँ छ त्यो बाहिर गर्यो भने I don't think that magnitude of success we would have been able to achieve outside. Because हामी भन्छौं यहाँ गाह्रो छ काम गर्न चुनौती छ तर चुनौतीसँग अवसर पनि त छ नि हैन बाहिर एकदमै कम्पिटिटिभ छ सो टु बी एट दैट स्केल टु बी इनोभेटिभ एट दैट स्केल टु ब्रिङ अबाउट चेन्जेस बाहिर र यो स्केलमा चाहिँ गाह्रै हुन्छ र नेपालमा भएर आई फिल दैट वी हैव अचिभड मोर बीइङ इन नेपाल देन आउटसाइड बिकज नेपालमा चाहिँ जुनसुकै सानो इनोभेसन सानो चेन्ज ल्याए पनि इट ब्रिङ्स अ बिग इम्प्याक्ट र त्यो भएको हुनाले आई फिल दैट द अपर्च्युनिटिज आर इन नेपाल दैट्स व्हाई एज ज्योति ग्रुप अल्सो most of our businesses we are consolidating and investing whatever limited resources that we have. No matter how big you are, your resources are always limited, your time, your manpower. So हामीले नेपालमै domestic market मै focus गरिरहेको छौँ.
So domestic market मा चाहिँ do you see any fruitful changes that's going to happen like in a span of like 2 years? तपाईको analysis मा तपाईहरुले जुन research गर्नुहुन्छ invest गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि, do you see that happening soon enough?
Yeah, of course. I think this is the right time. I'm sure.
Is it encouraging? तपाईले जब मूल्याङ्कन गर्नुहुन्छ, analyze गर्नुहुन्छ?
So I think this is the right time because I think मैले भने जस्तो from the history, if you see that I've been working in 1999, now we've come to such a phase where we have a constitution in the country. Now we are a federal democratic republic of Nepal. There is political stability. The direction is there. 7 वटा प्रदेशको स्थापना भइसकेको छ. भनेपछि त्यत्रो गाह्रो भएर हामी त्यत्रो द्वन्द्वकालबाट आएर पिसफुल ट्रान्जिसन भएर यहाँसम्म आउनु भन्ने सानो कुरा हैन. We are a global example. There are countries that have gone genocide, they've had genocide, the whole economy is collapsed. तर हाम्रो त्यस्तो स्थिति छैन. We are a global example because peaceful transition भएर हाम्रो चाहिँ अहिले यो स्थितिमा आछ. Of course it does take some time because it's a new system of implementation. प्रदेशमा गभर्नमेन्ट सेटअप हुनु पर्यो, सिस्टम्सहरु हुनु पर्यो. So it will take some time. तर despite that, as I said, it's like we've been climbing Everest, now we're at the summit. Now it's all downhill. Because stability is there, opportunity is there. And नेपालमा हाम्रो यति opportunity छ कि खास गरिकन अहिले हामीले फोकस गरिरहेको भने you know, there's always, I'm sure there are a lot of fans of Endgame, right? We watched Endgame. I think it's released.
I'm a big, huge fan of Avengers, Marvels, and DCs too. But as I feel, literally, if I put up a T-shirt, superhero T-shirt, like I thought, like, I came up with a formal attire.
So I think what happens is that why I'm bringing the context of that movie is that, of course, besides raising 1.2 billion, the highest raising movie in history, and I think that culture is slowly coming to Nepal also, which is good. Is that you say, you know, the part of the journey is the end, Mansoni. I mean, we're a traditional family business. We're a third generation business.
It started with Mr. Mani Jyoti, then your father, your uncle, and yourself.
So, third generation business, our foundation was industries and is still industries. Himalayan is almost 52 years old. You know, Bhajratna is 54 years old trading. Himal Wires, Himal Oxygen. So, these are all 5-decade-old industries which we've modernized, expanded, and these companies are still running very well.
Do you feel like, you know, the transition and leadership, have you like move on with time, as like apt with time?
Of course. So within that time, we have had a lot of businesses and industries that have consolidated and closed down. So why I'm saying the part of the journey is the end is that these are traditional businesses. Most of them have already shut down, we've consolidated, and whatever future we see, there is a potential for future. We've continued those industries. Of course, construction is one of them. Himal Steel is still doing well. Wires, oxygen is a requirement. We supply medical oxygen to most of the hospitals, which is the oldest oxygen mill in the country, Himal Oxygen. So, but lot of these traditional industries are coming to maturity, saturation, or we are consolidating and shutting down. Now, there's a new beginning that's happening in Nepal. Right? जुनसुकै क्षेत्रमा हामी हेर्दा नेपालीहरुको हाम्रो बानी के छ भने उनीहरु लागेको छ होटलमै लागु उनीहरु चाहिँ हैन नयाँ म्यानुफ्याक्चरिङ सिमेन्टमा लागेको छ सिमेन्टमै लागु स्टिल भन्यो स्टिलमै लागेको छ अध्ययन गर्दैन मार्केटको साइज हेर्दैन फिजिबिलिटी गर्दैन सब चाहिँ लाइन इट्स अ you know just follow त्यो मेन्टालिटी छ.
Have you ever followed the trend? यो सबैजना यहाँ जमातमा लाग्यो भन्दाखेरि तपाईहरु पनि बिजनेस ग्रुपमा कुरा होला अब बेसिक ह्युमन नेचर कोही कतै लाग्यो भने सबै त्यसैमा लाग्ने जुन नेचर छ. Have you ever followed the trend?
There's nothing wrong in following. I feel that. Of course I have. And there's nothing wrong in following. But provided any project that you get into, any venture that you get into, a trend shows you what is the future. तर त्यो future नेपालमा त्यसले चाहिँ कति potential छ, whether it's sustainable or not, whether it'll be profitable, what are the impact of that, whether it can grow over a period of time. त्यो हेरेर मात्रै हामी लाग्छौं. So there's nothing wrong in following. You know, you can do something that someone is doing, you can copy that to your advantage and do it even better. So there's nothing wrong in saying that, you know, you don't have to be innovative all the time. You know, so there's nothing wrong in that. तर अहिलेको ट्रेन्ड कस्तो भयो भने, as I said, from traditional industries we are getting to more technology based industries. र जुनसुकै क्षेत्रमा लाग्दा चाहिँ एउटा enabling environment र enablers पनि हुनु जरुरी छ. हैन अब इन्डस्ट्रीमा enablers भने हाम्रो चाहिँ पोलिसीज हो गभर्नमेन्टको इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो. हैन नेपालमा चाहिँ infrastructure ko herda we are still lag behind, or even government policies to the certain extent is not as encouraging as the neighboring countries. Where you go to Sikkim say, hey, come to, you know, I'll give you a piece of land free. 10 varsha samma, it's a tax holiday for you. We don't have that. And you go there, the land, there is a road, there is bijli, there is pani. Yaha ta afai jaga kinnu paryo, afai bato banaunu paryo, bijli ल्याउनु paryo. So that's, you know,
आफैले नै सबै इन्भेस्ट गरेर पनि there's no security भन्ने चाहिँ अझै पनि छ।
Potential छ, तर त्यति गर्नु पर्दा चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने time loss हुन्छ त्यसमा चाहिँ. When you can set up an industry outside in a period of 2 years, here it'll take you 3 to 4 years, double the time. So that's loss of time and productivity.
Yeah. I want to talk about culture. You've been brought up in Kathmandu. You're from a Newari family. How well acquainted are you with the customs and cultures and the traditions of your family?
So I think being brought up in a Newari family, we are very much closely tied. And with not just with family and, you know, our Newari culture, but also with the community. So that is I think we are very well integrated. Not just me, I think my children also. You know, I mean,
they speak Newari?
Of course. So we speak in Newari. Now it's good to speak Newari, you know, because otherwise they understand your language, you know, when you go outside. Nepali bolda pani bujihalcha, Newari bujyo भने कसले पनि बुझ्दैन.
So do you make it a point to, you know, learn the Newari in written form as well?
Newari written form ma चाहिँ अलि बढी नै च्यालेन्जिङ भयो. पहिला त मेरो first
You tried.
I did.
You got a tattoo with the you know
Ranjana
Lipi too.
It's one of the most beautiful scripts. You see it in all the monasteries, and it's registered as the official script of Nepal, right? Ranjana script. So I think you should take an effort to at least learn about it if you can't, you know, learn about the history of.
I'm trying to get into, you know, the classes and learn Ranjana Lipi myself. You know, just trying to get to the closer to the roots. I think it'll, you know, give a purpose to life.
Of course.
You know, why do we exist? What is the purpose? And do you feel the same way?
I do, because I think that is something that is very inherent in us, and that is something that our culture is something very unique. You know, so as the future generations come, एउटा चाहिँ हाम्रो के हुनु पर्छ भने अब बिल्डिङ त जहाँ पनि छ नि, modernization त जहाँ पनि हुन्छ, तर what sets us apart is our rich cultural heritage. You know, cultural heritage and our cultures that we have. So if we can maintain that, we will always be a unique country and a unique destination for people.
So the urbanization of Kathmandu Valley, and the way it's grown and the way it's come up to today's time, do you think culturally we're degrading somewhere?
Of course, I think because this is a very unplanned development. Unplanned development bhako hunale badi concrete bhayo, we don't have green areas, we don't have parks, the air pollution quality is going down. You know, may not necessarily be from industries or automobiles necessarily, it's just the dust. But again, as I said, this is a melamchi आउँदैछ, melamchi like खनिरहेछ, तर त्यो बाटोहरु सबै पुरिसकेपछि मलाई लाग्छ कि the air quality will improve, and it's not as bad as most. It's just a matter of time.
Patient.
But we need to be a little bit more planned as we expand. You know, not just Kathmandu is not Nepal. We have so much potential outside. So planned approach.
Planned you know, rather than Kathmandu, I think Kathmandu has been exploited to bits and pieces. As much the city can take, I think it is taken. कस्तो लाग्छ तपाईलाई चाहिँ?
अब त्यो चाहिँ के हो भने बाध्यताले it's a part of history. You know, at that point I was talking about when we were having the civil war in Dondakal, a lot of people either went out or they migrated to the city because they felt it was secure. So once they migrated and started staying here, they didn't go back. So the population went up from almost 2.5 million to now we have 5 million people. You know? So त्यसले गरेर पनि हो र the infrastructure was not there to support it. So त्यसले गरेर चाहिँ, but that's a part of history, right? But now again, once we start decentralizing and you have a fast track roads, you can easily, you know, live 45 minutes. Do you wish
Nepalma Kathmandu Valley ma ta nahekana aba भन्नु पोखरा if it was as much busy as Kathmandu is, or, you know, Nepalganj as busy as Kathmandu? I'm just taking Kathmandu as the central focal point because it is centralized. My business would have been like into 5 times more भन्ने जस्तो पनि लाग्छ.
I think now,
just not the business and not just the money perspective, but in terms of ambition, in terms of job opportunities, in terms of growth, you know, into 5 into 10 times हुन्थ्यो जस्तो लाग्छ हजुरलाई?
अब के भयो भने एउटा त साँच्चै भन्नुपर्दा we already have our offices in all the major towns and cities of Nepal. So हाम्रो we operate from all the major towns and cities, whether it's Pokhara, Biratnagar, Nangad, Bhairava, सबै ठाउँमा हाम्रो अफिस छँदैछ र we work out of the offices, that's one. But the work काम गर्नलाई the ecosystem has to evolve around, right? You can't work alone. अब everything is centralized in Kathmandu. कम्पनीको रेजिस्ट्रेसन गर्नु पर्यो, दर्ता गर्नु पर्यो, कर तिर्नु पर्यो, यो गर्नु पर्यो, त्यो गर्नु सबै काठमाडौँमै भएको हुनाले काठमाडौँमा काम गर्न चाहिँ सजिलो भयो. But now we have 7 प्रदेशेस. अब त्यहाँ चाहिँ आफ्नै गभर्नमेन्ट र आफ्नै सेटअप र आफ्नै इकोसिस्टम बिजनेसको इकोसिस्टम डेभलप भएपछि I think it will be much more easier to start even your head offices at various other locations that you said, and that will be something more refreshing. And I think not just that, I think because त्यो ecosystem bhitra you can have your various units, right? From Birganj I have my factories, in Bhairava I have my few of my other businesses. So त्यहीँबाट centralize गरेर various units या various companies को you could be able to do that, and I think that will be an advantage because now the pradeses are competing like competitors. Everyone's trying to attract investment,
so
which is good for business.
Do you think the tax would actually be imposed much higher on the products that you sell? किनकि पहिल्यै धेरै छ. I see a lot of Indian vloggers traveling to Nepal bike ma, and then they complain about bike hire गर्नु पर्यो पनि यहाँ धेरै ट्याक्स को कारणले गर्दाखेरि इन्डियामा एउटा यो जुन बाइक म चढिरहेको छु it's almost into 3 times यहाँ. It's mind boggling भनेरै भन्नुहुन्छ उहाँहरूले हैन. A lot of people who have a lot of subscribers. Do you think what is your take on that?
So I think as automobile being an entrepreneur from an automobile industry and heading the Nepal Automobile Dealer Association for a long time, I'm the past president. We have been working on the auto policies for over a decade now. Personally, I have been spearheading a lot of policies trying, but somehow the government को perception जहिले पनि चाहिँ मोटरसाइकल गाडी भनेको बिलासताकै वस्तु हो, आवश्यकताको वस्तु भनेर we have not been able to change that perception.
Why is that? I mean, why is not the government updating itself as per the time?
So one major reason is that automobile sector as such is one of the highest contributors to the government revenue. We contribute almost 26%.
So बानी बिग्रेको भन्नु मिल्छ.
About 26% of the revenue comes from automobile sector because of the high taxation. None of the other sectors growth is as much as projected. So the revenue has to come in from somewhere. Government expenditure को लागि, हाम्रो चाहिँ बजेट को लागि, विकास को लागि. So अहिले बढी भार चाहिँ अटोमोबाइल मा गइरहेको. तर मलाई लाग्छ कि बिस्तारै ओभरअल डेभलपमेन्ट इन्डस्ट्री को अब आउँदैछ, नयाँ IT डिजिटल इकोनोमी बूम भइरहेछ. We are looking at tourism is doing even better now. It's slowly picking up. Tourism year आउँदैछ. So त्यो चाहिँ अरु सेक्टर्स बाट पनि रेभेन्यू बढ्दै गयो, एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोसन हुँदैछ. त्यो भएपछि चाहिँ बिस्तारै चाहिँ यसमा भार कम गर्न सकिन्छ. किनभने अहिले चाहियो नि त पैसा. सरकार चलाउनलाई पनि गभर्नमेन्टको रेभेन्यू चाहिँदा चाहिँ सो द कन्ट्रिब्युसन.
यति धेरै च्यालेन्जेस हुँदा हुँदै पनि यति धेरै सेटब्याक्स हुँदा हुँदै पनि हाउ आर यु पुटिङ अप दिस स्माइल एन्ड पोजिटिभ एटिट्युड? अहिले कुरा गर्दाखेरि नै आई फिल लाइक ओके देयर इज दिस रे अफ होप समवेयर इन अल दिस chaos देयर इज समथिङ a hope that things will get organized. What keeps you going, Saurabh bhai?
I think the whole point is that we've been through the worst times. Through the civil war, we've been through political turmoil, and as I said, now we've reached the summit. Now we have a constitution, we're a federal democratic republic,
so
and Nepal
जुन बिजनेस कार्यकालमा तपाईहरुको तीनवटा जेनेरेसन जुन तपाईले मेन्सन गर्नुभयो, do you think तपाईँको generation has seen a lot of changes in this limited span of time?
Of course, I think our generation has been.
And do you take that pride in yourself that yes, हामीहरुले चाहिँ धेरै नै leadership लिएर पनि we've survived and we've made it to this point भनेर?
Of course, I think we feel that this generation has.
If nothing else, we've survived time भन्ने जस्तो नि हुन्छ कहिलेकाहीँ.
From the monarchy to the civil war to the whole transition now and the development that's happening now is something that's I feel we are very lucky as a generation to have gone through all that.
You feel lucky rather.
Of course, we feel lucky because I mean we've been through a period of the most historic time in Nepal. I mean history of course changes every 100 years or so.
Yeah,
but within this span of 20 years, a lot of things have happened.
कहिले आत्तिनु पनि भयो ल के भएको यो जहिले नि गर्छु भन्दाखेरि यस्तो हुन्छ के भएको भनेर.
त्यो त भइहाल्छ. It's a part and parcel of doing business. Not just here. You will always face challenges everywhere. But when you see opportunity in Nepal, the opportunities that present itself in Nepal is phenomenal because we're still a developing country, right? LDC ma bhaन्छौँ, I'm saying we want to become we want to get into Millennium Development Goals. We're still heading. We want to become a developing country. भनेर हाम्रो target रहेको छ. And but if you see data and facts, statistically, if you see data and facts, just last July मा चाहिँ World Bank को report मा चाहिँ Nepal is the third fastest growing economy. You know, with a population of 29 million. It's not a small population, 29 million. And we've had a GDP growth of 7.5%. And we're trying to sustain that GDP growth. Okay, even if
you think we'll be able to sustain it?
If we take a very focused, planned approach by the government and supporting private sector, supporting udyog vyavasayहरूलाई support गरेर भयो भने, there is a plan for export promotion, planned किसिमले हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ विदेशमा हाम्रो चाहिँ migrant workersहरू गइरहेछ त्यो revenue कसरी manage गर्ने, revenue कसरी बढाउनु भने, I don't think it's a problem at all to manage. And of course now as we're getting into the future, we need new policies. You know, यो digital को हामीको digital economy को कुरा गरिरहेछौँ. We are lobbying for policies for digital economy, whether it's digital payment gateways, whether it's for digital marketing, whether it's for training skilled manpower. So if we have a direction and we focus on certain core competencies, we could, where we have core competencies, we can have phenomenal growth.
All right. We talked about business, we talked about culture, right? You just took a stroll around Patan yesterday, apparently.
Yes.
Right? And what was the feel like? You take a stroll around Patan, you move around the world, you see amazing monuments, ठुलो सानो देखि everything, and you take a stroll around Patan. कुन चाहिँ रमाइलो लाग्छ तपाईलाई?
मलाई त जहिले पनि नेपालमै घुम्न मन लाग्छ किनभने it gives me a sense of reality check where our country is, how beautiful our country is, and you know I feel very much more peaceful when I'm here. You know, no matter what you do outside, no matter how beautiful you inside, it's not home. You know, home is here. So I think Patan was a learning. Home is
where the heart is, they say,
yes,
right?
Of course. So I always, you know, I always believe that be a tourist in your own country before you become a tourist outside, right? So one of my, on a yearly basis, I always try to make it to always to a new destination within Nepal. अनि हिजो पनि हामी पाटनमा गएको थिएँ हैन पाटनमा गएर चाहिँ सबै हाम्रो बङ्गलामुखी हाम्रो गोल्डन.
It was really nice to see the pictures, and with that I'm coming to this point that you posted that on Instagram, and a lot of people, a lot of youth get inspired or influenced by, you know, the posts that you make, and you've got like 32,200 followers on Instagram. Now, how do you take that number? How did it start for you? Like Instagram, like consciously नै गर्छु भनेर नै you started out, or you know, Facebook मा पहिल्यै तपाईको त्यतिकै तपाईहरुको पोस्टमै त्यतिकै following आउँथ्यो?
No, I think how it started off, when social media started off, it was Facebook. Instagram, I didn't even know about it at that point. So Facebook was something, oh, you're not on Facebook, भन्थ्यो सबैले हाल्थ्यो. But I am a very private person.
Are you?
Still.
Like, are you? Like my question is, are you?
I'm a very private person. What you see on social media and Instagram is only, you know,
bits and pieces that you'd like to share.
It's maybe
24 hours मा हुने घटनाको सानो 1-2 मिनेटको कुरा.
Because if I start posting about everything, I think all
your
my followers
would know.
Not competitors will know. I think I have a very boring life, contrary to what people think, and I think a lot of people will start unfollowing me because half the times I'm in office, I'm doing my meetings. But of course, a part of my life and my lifestyle, my social media just reflects my interests and my passion. Right. Which generally I think so people follow for.
Not all the followers or not all the people who follow your post should be judging you on that front.
It's a part of me. It is me. It is me. But that's the fun side of me. You know, not the business side. I generally post lighter content.
Are you more lethal when it comes to business?
I want to be. I want to be, but I still feel
still work in progress.
I still need to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more efficient. My time management is terrible, so I'm trying.
But then you arrived on time. Like you said, you'd be on like at 10, but then you arrived at 9:50 exactly. But phone ago at 9:45 also.
So I think on time is always late. You know, if you're on time, you're already late.
Okay.
So the whole philosophy is that you should be a little bit ahead of time. And then you'll be on time because traffic's so I think time management is a very important part of it. And then getting back to social media, that is a part of me that is just what my passions, what my interests are, and it just started off as because everyone was on social media. We started off with social media, and then Facebook started, and then Instagram started.
How did your Instagram page take a boom? Was it like did you realize this is the month that actually went booming for
Actually, I don't even know how many followers I have. I think
you've got like 32,200 followers and counting more probably.
I do see it once in a while. I do see it in a while, but I think that is not the point, how many followers you have. One, what I feel is that even to be on social media is very important, but that is a part of a TG that relates to me in terms of maybe motorcycle lovers, people who follow, Marvel, DC, people who likes gadgets, who like gadgets. So I think that is something that's a part of me, and some people can relate to me. So that's how I think the growth happened organically, right? But more than the followers, the whole point is to be connected, even with your friends on social media. I call it the extended family of the social media family.
What does it take for Mr. Saurabh Jyoti to follow someone on Instagram?
I think something that draws my interest, something that inspires me, something that excites me.
So what really, like, तपाईको जब Instagram feed मा जानुहुन्छ नि सर, what the post that you एकदम latest post तपाईले याद गरिराख्नु भएको कुन चाहिँ छ?
So
from which page?
The latest post that I have been following is about the new technology about foldable phones.
Okay.
And how Samsung, there's been some problems with that, and the new technology that's coming up. And also I follow a lot of business people, whether it's Richard Branson and whether it's other renowned people. I follow so that I see what trends are happening, Elon Musk, what he's doing.
So those things inspire you to do something more, something good. Perspective पनि दिन्छ, like, should I get my business in some ways भनेर पनि sometimes does it hit you?
Of course, I think we feel that there are a lot of avenues where we haven't explored. So new areas where we can invest in, where we can bring about change. We're talking about new energy now, we're talking about solar, we're talking about wind, we're talking about alternate energy vehicles.
It's not just your personal page, but also your companies and Honda's page that have come up with Instagram page and Facebook page, which has been updating all of us regarding what your future plans are. अब कतै सर्भिसिङ फ्रीमा छ भने भनिराख्नु भएको छ सबै पेजहरु अन्तर्गत. So how serious are you taking this social media in terms of business, personally?
So I think as a business model also, now social media marketing is extremely important. So we've put that as a priority because Nepalko Jansankhya mobile penetration is 109%, which is the highest in the region. Internet penetration is 44%. India's internet penetration is 37%. And the Facebook population, people that are on Facebook and social media, is phenomenal. So the reach is direct, personal, one-to-one. So there is a need for all businesses, whether it's, in a way, my personal page could be, my interests, and business pages reflect the business interest of the company. So it is extremely essential that all businesses now have to have a presence, a footprint on social digital media.
So social media,
it is a necessity now, you can't avoid it.
Like the business of yours that has expanded like 50 years, do you think social media, because when you run, will go beyond that, or probably last with time too? तपाईलाई यो सोशल मिडिया चाहिँ कति अझसम्म यसको रन कति होला जस्तो लाग्छ तपाईलाई?
अब social media will continue now because now
this is the future.
This is the future. Everyone is connected. There are no boundaries, right? A message from here, a business proposition, a marketing campaign can go viral. There are no physical boundaries anymore. So it's a connected world, But the way, the medium through which we communicate can change. Right now we have Facebook and Instagram. We could have something else by then, or some other medium. But it will be connected, maybe now you get into wearable devices, or maybe you don't even need to learn. You have a chip and everything's uploaded onto your brain. But it has to be connected. Only it's just that the software, the interface, or the medium may change.
Okay. I've got a few posts caption that you've posted a long time back. I actually researched it, and you another I used to usually ask questions, but I'd like to know what were the things that you put in these captions. What are the essence? So there's this picture where you've mentioned your caption as move from hobbies to hibbies with an I. Hobbies ma chai o hatara I rakhnu bhako cha. So what is that?
So
Investment bhanera.
A lot of people have passion, right? But following your passion blindly, you can't turn it into a business.
Okay.
So hobby with an I is a hibby, where it's a hobby where you make investments that give you return over a period of time, right? So that's it encompasses your passion and you can turn it into a profitable, sustainable business. So that becomes hibbies. So I think that was what I was thinking when I posted. For example, right now, I mean, I love bikes, and so I started collecting bikes a few years back. So now I restore and keep a lot of bikes. And I know genuinely people love motorcycles. A lot of young people love motorcycles. And I get requests all the time, whether they can come and see the motorcycles. And whenever I can, I accommodate.
Right.
But it's at home and I can't be inviting everyone, So now the whole idea came about that why can't I have a public display area,
you
a
even
motorcycle
posted that
gallery.
picture on your Instagram, right?
Yes.
With the gallery coming soon, so you're taking this to a next level altogether.
Yes. So now setting up a gallery where I can open it up for public. They can come and enjoy the machines. They can come and see not just the machines, maybe the collection of collectibles.
The Honda showroom downstairs is already like a museum. Now you're adding up again arko kuro pani. So is that immense satisfaction that gives we're seeing the bike, seeing the machine?
I think it gives you so much, it gives you so much inspiration and so much happiness to see, that you can open it up and the people coming there, the joy that they get, the smiles on their faces, and we share similar passion, so you're immediately, connected. If someone comes and talks to me about bikes or about, movies, then I'm immediately, we're already talking about, on the same page, so there's a connection.
So the other post that I'd like to talk about is, मलाई चाहिँ यो कुरा चाहिँ अब बुढो भयो भनेर अब हुन्छ नि एउटा slang, but then you posted like, do not regret growing older. It is a privilege denied to many. Now that completely changed the perspective towards maturing or adulthood. It's actually a privilege. So what is your take on that?
So I think age is just a number. Age is just a number. As long as you're doing what you love, you're always in touch with yourself. And main thing is your heart at peace. Because no matter what you do, you should be happy inside. That's one. But I think when I posted that, another thing was that I've lost a lot of my family members. My first cousin, he passed away when he was 24.
Okay.
And I've had a lot of friends also pass away. So you think you're always complaining, you're getting old, but you're lucky, that every breath could be your last. So enjoy it, live life to the fullest. Right. So I think that is something that came out of that.
And this post that actually was like, wow, now, will this really happen? So, तपाईं चाहिँ प्रधानमन्त्री निवासमा हुनुहुन्थ्यो बालोटार. You had a broken leg, and then you posted like, my future residence, you never know. Would Saurabh Jyoti actually run for the Prime Minister someday?
So, it's a far-fetched thought because that's not my area of expertise. I'm very bad at politics. I'm good at being very goal-oriented, working in a non-professional, non-political environment, in a professional environment. For the first step, of course, will be first to win the FNCCI elections and become a president of FNCCI, which is in my 10-year plan. भित्र चाहिँ हुने त्यो चाहिँ छ तर त्यहाँ भइसकेपछि you never know, you can have a look.
But there's a possibility. There's always possibilities for things to happen.
I think Prime Minister is not the post that I'm vying for. But something that I want to bring about is larger change for the good of society and nation at large.
I think that would be
so
interesting.
That is something in me that I want to do.
I'd love to interview as the Prime Minister of Nepal someday.
Oh, that's a far-fetched thought. But as I said, is nothing is impossible. But something in me is that to do good, something for the betterment of all the fellow countrymen. I have that in me. I want to do something.
Youngsters, I've just cut you right at the conversation. Since we are running out of time, I just want to get this question right through. Forbes list, even people from Nepal have made it to the list, and so like, do you have this ambition or any thought that I want to make it to the Forbes list?
Forbes list भनेर मेरो त्यो ambition मैले कहिले सोचेको छैन.
हजुर.
You know, but what I want to be known as personally, when you want to be known, you want to be remembered as not a successful person, but a good person,
right.
A person who has brought about a positive influence or a change in some person's life in a positive way. I think that is more powerful. So when you go about with that core philosophy, I feel that you can make an impact. We want to be a company that the society wants us to exist in Nepal. And as we grow, we could go globally. But as we grow, and then that could be a result of the growth.
Right.
But just to get there, do business by any means, earn money by any means, no. I think we have our ethics, we have our vision, and how we grow, how we do business is a core part of our philosophy.
Right. So, arko kura is sort of the, like a lot of people who have got their family businesses, you know, they try to venture into doing something as a startup as well on their own. उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ फ्यामिली बिजनेस भनेको चाहिँ ट्रेडिसनल, इट टेक्स टाइम, अब बुवाले मान्नुहुन्न, हजुर बुवाले मान्नुहुन्न, घरमा मान्दैन भन्ने जुन सोच छ, एन्ड दे अप्ट फर समथिङ एल्स एन्ड दे फेल मिजरेबली त्यसमा पनि, किनकि आइभ सिन इट माइसेल्फ इन माई एज ग्रुप एज वेल. What is your take on that? Family business छ भन्दैमा, do you not do it? Do you do it? What needs to be the perspective of the current youth?
So I think VC is a new trend. It's a very good trend. The first thing is that if you can't convince your family, how are you going to convince your investors to invest in you?
Right.
So first thing is that you need to talk to your family, convince your family, you know, because a family is something very important. And if you can't get your own people to invest in you, I don't know how you're going to get
that is a very
others to invest,
yes.
You know. So, but having said that, I think there's a lot of potential in VCs. But what I see happening is that even among VCs, again, a lot of startups are coming up. We are on various, I think there are 20, 30 VCs, but we are investing in a lot of VCs, but we are just investors, and in some places I mentor them. But the point is, यति ठुलो startups-हरु र VCs-हरु आइसक्यो कि we are spreading it too thin, you know, because we are competing with the world now. So I think all the VCs need to get together, make one or two startups, and these startups should create a ripple all across globally. This is a company that started out from Nepal. This is the impact, and showcase this. Once we have those high flyers, automatically lot of investors will come into Nepal. Nepalमा पनि यस्तो potential छ, app development भइरहेछ, startups भइरहेछ भनेर. अनि त्यो गर्नु सक्यो भने चाहिँ मलाई लाग्छ we can grow in a big way. Right now everyone's doing their small thing, we're investing a little bit here, a little bit there, but none of it has made that impact which we can make globally or regionally. So I think that is something important. Everyone get together, get one or two companies to make it big, and then, you know, then all eyes are on Nepal then. Right now no one's looking at Nepal because we haven't made it.
That's a very bird-eye view that you have. A very long-term visionary.
So I think in terms of VC, IT, digital economy, new companies that are coming, app development companies, in terms of technology, once we make that impact with one person, you know, imagine Apple comes out of Nepal, you know, what happens? You know, Microsoft comes out of Nepal. You know, WhatsApp comes out of Nepal.
That's a very encouraging state of mind. No,
it's very much possible. What's there is very much possible. So once a WhatsApp comes out of Nepal,
is there?
Then everyone knows Nepal. And then you can bring in so much investment, then it'll really boom and take off.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. It has been a really enlightening interview after such a long time. You know, got to learn so many things, as always, from you. You know, from your poster, I was learning in terms of my perspective, pani change bhayirako, but then, you know, meeting you as a person for the first time, you know, I just got to learn so many things. I hope our listeners and our viewers on YouTube got to learn things from you as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It was a real honor and a pleasure to have you here at the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So people, this is Radio Nagarik 96.5. I'm the voice Jay Pradhan, and yes, it was an amazing conversation with Mr. Saurabh Jyoti, and I hope you take a lot back, and I hope you save this video on your phone as well, because, you know, it will help you a lot, right? So stay tuned to Radio Nagarik 96.5. Yes, bidding you goodbye. As always, let that heart beat, for if you let it beat, well, it'll take you to all the wonderful places. Ciao.